The definition of media culture and media culture. Okay, let's talk about media. Media are the communication outlets or tools used to store and deliver information or data. The term medium, the singular form of media, is defined as one of the means or channel of general communication, information, or entertainment in society, as newspaper, radio, or television. Okay, culture. Culture can be defined as all the ways of life including arts, beliefs, and institutions of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. Culture has been called the way of life for an entire society. As such, it includes codes of manners, dress, language, and religion, rituals, and art. The last but not the least, media culture. Media culture refers to the current Western capitalist society that emerged and developed from the 20th century under the influence of mass media. The term alludes to the overall impact and the intellectual guidance exerted by the media not only on public opinion but also the taste of and values.
We have two kinds of traditional media, broadcast media and print media. Broadcast media describes the traditional form of media that includes television, radio, CDs, and DVDs, while print media is a printed media including newspapers, books, magazines, flyers, and billboards. In new media, we use the internet and the technologies to gather information and news. New media is comprised of websites, blogs, vlogs, smartphones, and social medias.
Four stages of revolution: pre-industrial, industrial, electronic, and digital. Pre-industrial age is a time before there were machines and tools to help perform tasks en masse. Industrial. The industrial age is defined by mass production, broadcasting, the rise of the nation state, power, modern medicine, and running water. Electronic. The electronic age began when electronic equipment, including computers, came into use. Digital. The information age is defined as the time period starting in the 1970s with the introduction of the personal computer, with subsequent technology introduced providing the ability to transfer information freely and quickly.
Digital media. The computer is considered the most important media influencing globalization. Computers give access to global and marketplace and transform cultural life. Our daily life is revolutionized by digital media. People are able to adapt new practices like fashion, sports, music, food, and many others through access of information provided by the computers. They also exchange ideas, establish relations, and link age through the use of Skype, Google, Chat, Zoom, and other platforms. Oral communication. Of all forms of media, human speech is the oldest and the most enduring. Humans are allowed to cooperate and communicate through languages. Languages as a means to develop the ability to communicate across culture are the lifeline of globalization. Language contributes to the formation of culture. Language is in a sense of substance of culture. Languages serve as important symbols of group belonging enable different groups of people.
Good morning to all of you. I'm Lance Gio Agalaos and I'm going to report about globalization and media. But before I'm going to start my report about globalization and media, I'm going to define the following term. And the first is globalization. Over the years, globalization gained many connotations pertaining to progress, development, and integration. And according to Webster's dictionary, the word globalization is used to describe the growth in interdependence of the world economies, cultures, and population brought by the cross-border trade in goods and services such as technologies and the flows of investments of people and information. The term media, which is the plural of medium, refers to communication channels through which we disseminate news, music, movies, education, promotional message, and other data. And what exactly is the role of media? While in everyday language, globalization usually refers to economic and political integration on a world scale or international scale. It also has a crucial cultural dimension in which the media have central role. When we start the contemporary world, we have to define globalization. We mentioned about interconnectedness or interdependence of different nation states and different countries to one another, and usually the definition of globalization, which focus on economic sides and the political integration, market integration, international trade. But when we look at globalization, culture is also important. Culture has a dimension or part, and it is a central role in globalization. In that sense, media globalization is about how most national media systems have become more internationalized, become more open to outside influence, both in their content and in their ownership and control. Um, think of it. Think of media. When say media at this point, let's look at here in our country are the companies, for example, that produce different media or news. For example, they have become more internationalized because not only are we reporting here what is happening in our countries, we also have news organizations that are originally from Western countries that they have her as a local base and national base, and there's also her offices of these new outlets. So if we look at the media, the news organization really have become more open to outside influence, both in their content and the ownership and control of these companies. So because of globalization, again, we become more interconnected, and we do not only consume that is the information that is consumed or produced in our country, but more so those produced in other countries. And that's all. Thank you.